Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
This is another episode of the Meatgistics Podcast brought to you by Walton's. Ostensibly a podcast about meat processing, but more commonly just Austin and I chatting back and forth.
Yeah, who knows what we're going to get into.
This time we are going to talk about some meat processing stuff right off the rip. I've got 2 dry cured salamis right here. These have been in our new dry curing chamber, which the final product should be here in a month and a couple of days. These are spice-lined casings that I have used to dry cure salami. We're going to rip off the casing and be absolutely amazed by the adherence of that spice-lined to the meat.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
That is perfect. However, we're about to see something sad.
Maybe.
I bring to you sad news today. There's no way that these 2 were different than the other ones. And yes, we have the same thing. We have what is known as the dreaded case hardening on these sausages. So what happens with this is when we're dry curing something, we need to be able to set the humidity at the correct level so that the inside of the meat, as it works to expel water towards the outside needs to evaporate off at the very similar, if not exact same rate. That's how we get a nice, even dry throughout. What happened here is the outside dried too quickly, and that prevented any of the moisture from the inside from making it all the way out. So we've got a very soft interior to this and a very hard exterior.
John came and was talking to me earlier this morning about it, and I didn't actually touch that one. So actually feeling that,
It's very soft.
That's crazy. It is. I didn't think it would be like that pronounced.
Flavor is still spot on. Flavor is excellent. But we have too soft in the middle and too hard outside.
Wait, so why male models?
Are you serious? We just went over that. Flavor perfect, right?
Flavor's amazing, but that texture is creepy. Like
No, because it's almost got a crunchiness to it from the outside, and then a very soft portion on the inside. It doesn't work. So we're going to be in contact with our casing supplier because we know people do this, right? Like I've eaten dry cured product with spice adhered casings on the outside. The only thing I can think of is the glue that is used to adhere the casing or whatever, glue.
Quote unquote glue.
Quote unquote glue.
Adhesive.
Sure. To keep the casing or to keep the spice on the casing and then to transfer it to the meat, somehow dried the outside too quickly. And I don't know how that's possible, but it's the only thing I can come up with. So these are never going to get drier. The outside is already too hard and crusty to allow any moisture transfer. So I'm just pulling them now, and we're going to vac pack them, and we'll just take them out in little chunks and eat them as we go. Yeah, like I said, it's shelf stable. We got the pH low enough, fast enough, but the texture is never going to be what we want it to be. So this is never going to be a product that, I would serve to people not named Austin.
Look how clean that comes off there, though.
Yeah, it comes off perfectly.
Full adherence.
Like, there's
none left
looks
over.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely amazing. And I am still going to cut into every one of them on just the off chance that one of them is perfect.
I have a theory.
It's not this one.
They're all perfect.
It's not this one.
They're all perfect, and John just wants them. So he's like, there's
Something's wrong with it,
it's
I think.
crusty.
I don't know. But yeah. So first experiment with spice line casings and dry cured sausage, definitely not a success.
Well, yeah, what would you grade yourself for your full course here?
D
Oh, wow.
at best.
There's
It's not quite an F.
There's a whole peppercorn sticking out right there. I just popped it out, ate it. It's hotter than I would imagine. It was a poor choice. It tastes delicious, but
Salami with whole peppercorns in it is the only way I'm eating salami anymore.
well, it would have been it would have been fine in the meat, but just eating the plain peppercorn, my throat is just like
Still a good choice.
it's stuck there right now.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you for eating that. I might upgrade myself to a C, Patrick,
Okay.
just because there's no rot. It's all perfectly edible.
I'm just
still.
saying, if this is wood shop, your birdhouse looks fine. It operates good. Like it can be a home for a couple birds.
But there's a problem inside, like whatever we use to make sure that bugs don't get in there. The bugs are going to get
termites
in
are
there.
going
Right.
to
So it's not
eventually destroy your home.
functionally. It's not what it should be. So it's sad.
I think the fact that you can't get sick on it, I mean, you should take it a little easier on yourself.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be sausage making professionals here, and this is not something that you could sell at any place.
Oh, I disagree.
I don't know about that.
You can't sell that,
Why not? It's still delicious.
but it's too soft in the middle.
Have you ever gone home and just like, oh, what is this? Like a single bite of something and thrown it away? For sure that I wouldn't do that with that. That could pass for something in a store, 100%.
You ever gone to a barbecue restaurant and had way overcooked, super dry meat?
Sure.
You ever try any
That's
guy's
worse
pulled
than
pork?
this.
It's terrible.
This still looks good, tastes good, feels fine in the mouth. It's just different. It's odd. It's not what it's supposed to be. But it's not bad.
Most of those people just work there. They don't take pride in making a product. Like I take pride in making this, so I'm mad.
Yeah.
But no, it tastes is great. Just got to figure out what's going on with the casing.
You could start your own category.
What do you
Like one of these meat championships. It's like the bend but don't break. Like it has the dry, has the tough exterior but nice and soft in the middle.
So we need to come up with a different term: bend but don't break.
I'm just saying, like 100 years ago, if you were like, "This is what it should be like," people would try to
everybody
emulate
would now
you.
be doing
yeah,
this.
100. That's what I mean. You just weren't there first with this style.
That's fair. That's fair.
Of course.
Be a trendsetter and
Trying to come up
Do your
with.
own thing.
Look at that.
I don't know.
What if
Who
we
would do that?
hit that in like the food processor and used it as like that chewy kind of stuff that we were looking for? That like what we wanted pemmican to be like, Is there any salvageable something to this?
Oh, I'm going to eat. All of it will get eaten. None of this is going to waste. Like, even if it gets me sick, I will continue to eat it because I made it. But, Do you want to talk about my upcoming challenge? Self-imposed?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah, you tell me about it.
Dylan,
I don't know what's going on.
Dylan, with one of his fantasy football teams or leagues, he wants the penalty to be the loser, you can't eat anything else until you've eaten 100 hot dogs. Like, you don't have to stay in a room and eat all 100 right
Well,
then.
like 3 that day, 3 the next day.
Exactly.
3
And you
the
can't
next
eat
day.
anything else until
you hit
you've eaten
100.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I could do that.
Dude, I could do that in about 4 days.
Not that.
Like
You think you eat 25 hot dogs a day?
and be
Let me tell you
comfortable,
guys,
yes.
eating hot dogs isn't as easy as it
What are you
sounds.
talking about? I pay Quick Trip good money weekly to eat hot dogs.
But you
from
eat other things as well. You can't eat anything else.
there. That'd make
dude.
it. That'd be fine.
So the last like 10 days, I have been eating so much trash.
Right.
But before that, I was mostly carnivore. I'd started doing more like mixed greens and some vegetables, but for a period there, I was carnivore. That's it. Like eating hot dogs is better than some of the meals that I ate like daily, like just ground beef. Or
Wait, hold on a second. Ground beef's way better meal than just hot dogs.
no,
Yes, 100%. Tastes
No.
better. Oh, come on. Are you being serious or are you joking?
no, I'm being serious.
There's no way you think a hot dog
You don't
is
get
better
to
than ground
you don't
beef.
get to season the ground beef with everything.
I'd far rather eat ground
fun.
beef than
You
hot
don't
dogs.
get to
You
add.
hear what he's saying though? Like if you've ever just had ground beef just cooked with nothing to it and
No
take
salt?
it off, that's what I mean. No salt.
Salt.
You know salt.
No. Then,
No.
ground, then I'm taking
Austin,
ground
you're
beef.
defeating your own argument here.
Then I'm taking
we
ground
had
beef.
them.
Yeah,
No, I know I am. I like ground beef.
You can still have some differences in hot dogs, though.
Not much. I mean, it's pretty much a
What are you
hot
talking
dog.
about? I could do a blind taste brand variety right here, right now, pay-per-view.
On
Let's
hot
do it.
dogs?
On hot dogs. I can tell you Nathan's from a ballpark.
We can make that happen.
From
Are
an
we-
Oscar
We
Mayer.
will make that happen.
Now, are we
actually.
eating plain hot dogs, or are we eating hot dogs? Also,
You can have a bun and one condiment.
okay.
Is
But
this
it's one condiment the entire way.
beef.
So if you choose ketchup, all 100
Okay.
have to have ketchup on them.
Hey,
Okay.
you know how psycho I am? I want no condiments, dude.
He's just, I can't say that word.
Straight up.
Can we pick any type of hot dog?
You can even change up your hot dogs.
Okay.
You
then
can go
yeah.
ballpark, you can go Nathan's, back and forth.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, you could do that in 4 days. It'd be no problem.
That's
You're
what
not
the,
eating
wait.
25 hot dogs a day.
You said this is what the winner gets
Could
to
be
do,
done.
or the
No, this is
loser?
what the loser has to do.
Oh, it's not enough.
You go get like the small cheap hot dogs from the store, and it's gonna be $8 per pound.
We're looking at
So
this so differently. Like, I want to stretch this out. Like, oh yeah, who wouldn't love to eat hot dogs every day? And you're thinking, wow, how quickly can I get this out of my way?
All right,
So you're gonna eat a pound for 3 meals. 1, 2, 3. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're gonna eat a 8-pack of hot dogs. Just the little pack of
first
eight,
of all, I
eight
don't
pack.
eat breakfast. So
Yeah,
until I found Brahms breakfast burritos
Oh.
with bacon, that's now it's
I
all I want.
found the loophole, Little Smokies.
No, full size hot dogs. That's nonsense. Don't go that way.
I'd make them eat footlongs. They have to be 100 footlongs. That now it's
Does that change your mind?
Oh, that's 2 to 3 times as much.
Right.
That's more difficult.
So my plan is to do a 50-pound batch of bratwurst, all one flavor, and eat nothing but that until they're all gone.
Yeah, that won't be a problem. That's fine. You'll be good. That'll be
He's poo-pooing this like it's nothing.
that'll be less than a month. You can eat all that in less than a month.
Eating only one thing for a whole month is a big freaking deal.
Nah.
Yes, it is.
I get what you're saying. Even when I was like, had my like dedicated diet, it was like 3 different things.
Right.
And you look forward to like, ooh, I might have something sweet on this day or something. Yeah. So, but if you
None of
just know
that.
it's hot dogs,
The first like 5 or 6 days, it's gonna suck. But after you get past the first few days, first week, then the rest of them are just like, yep, it's food time. You get rid of your attachment to like your dopamine hit while you're getting food, and food becomes something you need for survival, not your pleasure of the day.
it's like gassing up the car.
I've said it a bunch of times, but I don't enjoy this role reversal of ours in the last few years. This is making me more and more upset. I mean, you look great. You look awesome. You look younger, which is odd. Like,
Dude,
you legitimately look younger.
I didn't think about that. I'm gonna start looking like I might be in my 20s. Again.
You
This is
might
great.
start looking like
Did he
that
shave his
again.
head last week? He had a full head of hair. I couldn't even tell the difference.
I kind of need to shave right now, but
Well, put that wig back on you and
Oh, no,
we'll
no, no.
solve all that.
let's not.
No, at some point that wig is going back on you. Who does K-State play this weekend?
UT Martin.
It's just weekly do the wig.
You couldn't find a real college team to play. You had to play a high school team.
They're one of the better FCS schools out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're not some of the crap that the SEC teams schedule in the middle of November. Like,
Yeah, that's questionable. However, they have to play other SEC teams, so
But they only play 8
balances
and
out.
not 9.
Man, all balances out.
No, it doesn't. It does
definitely
not.
does.
No.
Yes. The SEC is the league.
Only if you get Alabama and Georgia on your schedule. If you avoid those 2 teams and you're just playing the rest of the people in there, and you get to throw in Vanderbilt as a power
Dude, Vanderbilt's
going
going
to
to be good this year.
It doesn't.
All
You know
right.
what's funny?
No.
You guys kind of look like each other's mascots. Like, if he tried out to be a leprechaun, you'd
He
probably
could
crush
make
it.
it no problem.
But if you tried, he'd accidentally. They go, actually, we kind of really
Like,
like.
actually, you're perfectly pale, and we
Yeah,
put a wig on you.
we
This is
like your
great.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look good in green. But then John, you look like the muscle cat or whatever too. So you could just.
See, he was nice about mine.
Well, he has a giant cat head. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's obviously has to go on top.
Although he's like, no, mine's not insulting at all.
All right, but my plan is to make 50 pounds of andouille and eat nothing but that until it's totally gone. Allie wants me to film it all using the TikTok app, and then I don't know what she'll do with it. We're just going to save it as a draft, but every time I eat, I'll have to film it and be like, this is my plan for today. Like, and my condiment, spicy brown mustard.
But what kind?
Wait,
Is it-
Dylan's, because it's cheap.
wait, can Walton sponsor my meal for the next 30 days too?
Shut
I knew
Shut
it.
up,
I
you
knew
a-hole.
it.
There's off brand, and I don't remember what it's exactly called, but the really good one is like Boar's Head, like stone ground spicy brown.
Yeah, no, that
and then
is
there's an
better.
off brand, but if you just get like off brand, like great value spicy brown,
Yeah.
it's not. No.
Well, how fancy are we going to get here? Right? We need to keep it somewhat reasonable, right? So we're just going spicy brown mustard.
Okay.
No buns, no nothing, just that. So
You're gonna lose 15 pounds probably through the month.
I don't
Maybe
think
20.
it's going to take me a whole month to eat them.
Oh, I thought you were just poo-pooing me about the length of time.
Because you
on
said
that.
4 days.
Well, for the hot dogs, I said like 20 to 30 on the on 50 pounds brats.
I would say somewhere around 20 is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But we'll monitor everything. I'll weigh myself every couple of days. But it's funny because every time I bring this up, Allie goes, "You mean the challenge that nobody asked you to do and you've decided you're doing?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I think it'll be fun." So I was in Austin, Texas at the big commerce event, whatever, having a great time. Land in Houston airport, get a text from a cop friend of mine that is on the other side of K96 coming back at the Cabela's, and there's this huge elk standing right next to the road. And at first, like, I could see Cabela's in the back, but I couldn't like make sure it was our Cabela's, and asked him where it was. He's like, "I'm looking at that right now. Like, somebody called the police on a elk." It's like, we don't know what to do. But elk aren't in Wichita. I mean, there are elk in Kansas, but they don't come to Wichita. The day I leave, one shows up. Then it gets worse. It goes to my neighborhood. It was in my neighborhood. I was so mad. I was actually stewing. Like, I was angry about this.
I forgot to say something to you from whenever that was over the past week here. But when I saw that, my first comment to my wife was, "Oh, John's going to hate this."
I was so mad. And it was huge, too. This is not a small elk. This is a big bull elk. And it was running right down Rock Road, right past my neighborhood. Unfair.
Another friend of mine, his thought, I had no idea because I thought just maybe there was elk that sometimes can come into, you find them in western Kansas, but not much because elk were pretty much eradicated a long time ago in Kansas. But then a buddy of mine was like, "Well, they've been trying to reintroduce them out on Fort Riley."
Yeah, the Fort Riley herd, it's got to be.
It's probably from the Fort Riley herd.
It doesn't make sense to be from anywhere else.
Yeah, which is still crazy because that's still, what, 120 to 140 miles away?
Yep.
And just a single elk decided to prance around 140 miles, but I don't know. It's crazy.
The best I could come up with is, for some reason, it got kicked out of the herd. It's a Disney movie. It's got something is different about it, and the rest of the herd was mean to it, so it's going to go have its adventure, gain some experience and wisdom, and then go back and save the herd. It's the best I can come up with. But no.
I don't know.
Nothing better. Okay. Big commerce event was great, though. There's a bunch of exciting things coming that we will implement on waltons.com. So start looking for some changes on waltons.com for, I think, first maybe our commercial customers, but then eventually everybody will see some updates and improvements at waltons.com. So that should be a good thing. I was there talking on a panel, and it was at Austin City Limits. So there used to be this PBS show called Austin City Limits, and every week they would have some famous performer there, and they'd run it on PBS. I'd seen Springsteen play there, on TV, obviously. Willie Nelson plays there all the time. There's murals of him everywhere. The Led Zeppelin, The Who, like, they've all played there at some point. So being on that stage was super weird. And I've been going through this thing recently. I was talking to somebody about this here. Last week, someday, I was so calm that it was bothering me. Like, I couldn't explain it. Like, it was almost like I couldn't care enough about things, right? So I was just like, okay. I'm like, this is not good. So I went home and wailed on my heavy bag at lunch for like 40 minutes, like just trying to get back to my normal level of agitation, I guess. So anyway, so we're getting ready to go up, and the person who was introducing me is like, "You doing good? You doing fine?" I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, this is the one thing I'm good at, is talking. Like, I'm not nervous about this. And they seemed like not thrown off by that, or not put off by that, but a little bit thrown off by that. So I don't know if the other people had been nervous who went out before me. But then I got up there, and I was like, a lot of famous people have like stood exactly where I am, and that made me a little bit uncomfortable, which made me more comfortable. So I was like, all right, that's interesting. So I was good, but no, the whole thing went great. Absolutely good time. Met some really smart people. I told you a story earlier that I won't repeat, but it's interesting to know you're the dumbest person in the room sometimes. It's like,
Oh, you're not the dumbest person there.
oh,
You
in
think
this
you were, but I
in
don't
this
know.
room I was.
I don't know.
In this room, the one guy I kept telling, I'm like, all right, now say that again. I'm like, but pretend that you're talking to you in 5th grade. Like, if you want me to understand that, I need you to dumb that way down for me. But it was a good time. The one bad thing that happened was on both flights back, severe turbulence.
Really?
Severe. On takeoff from Austin to Houston, I started to fall asleep before even takeoff, and I could feel us moving, but I was like, I'm good, I'm going. And we got, I don't know how far off the ground, maybe like 50 feet, and it hit a pocket, and my head just went whack right into the side of the plane. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. It was to the point where I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not a nervous flyer and whatever, but that I did not like.
So are you still taking the magnesium supplements I recommended?
Mhm.
That's why you're calm.
Oh, then I need to stop taking those immediately.
No, it's good. You should be able to be calm, but then you want to go home and hit the heavy bag and still go do that. But when you're ready to be calm, be calm. Just you need to fuel the ability to unleash still, not just be rageful all the time. But
No, but I
be
like having
calm
that in my
and then
back.
go out with rage when you want to.
Right. I like having it in my back pocket ready to go at all times. just like, don't hear it. Now I'm fully angry. I don't like having to summon it. I just want it there. It's too much work to actually get angry about it. Okay. Another couple of quick things. I bought some bacon toothpaste. We don't have it with us here, but on the next episode, we're going to brush our teeth with bacon toothpaste.
Just tempt us like that.
It is going
John.
to be absolutely terrible. It smells like.
Have you had it?
We smelled it.
Okay.
It smells like campfire with
Oh.
no bacon flavor whatsoever. Like smell just smells like they added hickory smoke powder to it.
I bet it'll taste like bacon still.
Okay. Well, we'll see. It does say on the tube, do not swallow this toothpaste. So
Okay.
we're going to have to be careful about that.
Okay.
And then I thought this was 100% fake because I started seeing it this weekend and it seems ridiculous, but I saw a bunch of articles on it today. Did you happen to see anything with a leopard somewhere in India this weekend?
No.
There's this video of these guys. They all get out of their car, and I don't know if they're already out of the car, but they like legitimately fear leopards in India because they jack people all the time. Like,
Give
that
me your
is-
money, buddy.
That is one wild cat you do not want to run into. But this leopard comes up to this guy and starts, for lack of a better term, playing with him. Like it's letting him, it pet him. It keeps coming up and like pawing at him gently. And eventually, like it starts walking off and it comes back to that guy. Then it walks off and comes back to that guy. So eventually they figure out like, okay, it's trying to like show us something. And they follow it and they go and find its, I don't even know if cub is the right term because it's too big for a cub, like sub-adult. One of its cubs, I guess, fell down a well and it was trying to lead them for help.
That's cool.
How insane is that? Like I always thought all those things, because I see those things on social media a decent amount. I always thought like 100% fake, like not real at all. That's, like they follow, like they show you them walking behind the leopard to where its cub is. It's amazing.
Animals are smart.
And pretty brave. Like if you and I were in the wilderness and you fell down a well, I wouldn't go find some tigers and be like, hey, can you guys come help me get them? Like it's, I was impressed by that.
So I just came up with a great idea. This is going to taste correct. I cut the small end
Okay.
off. That one, maybe not so much. But like the very end piece, that feels like a closer texture.
It's not. The outside is still crunchy.
Still too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good thought. The inside is closer, but the outside still has like almost a crunch to it. So it's just not right. Sad.
I tried.
Sad. All right. Moving on to Meat Matters. First of all, very difficult to find stories this week that were not linked to the Boar's Head recall because that is blowing up. So let's touch on that one first real quick. There are now 9 people who have died, and the CDC has officially linked it to not just deli meat, but specifically Boar's Head deli meat. It started out as being linked to the liverwurst or one of their liverwurst products, but it's now expanded to like dozens of different Boar's Head products. CDC is urging if you have Boar's Head deli meat to check online with their list of affected products and then dispose of it.
Yeah, so I didn't know about this until a day ago. I had somebody give me like a bunch of Boar's Head
Was it someone who wished bad
chicken
things
deli
upon
meat.
you?
No,
Okay.
no. And I still have some at home. I have like 2 pieces left, but I kept eating on it because I was like, this is so good. I don't want to stop because I don't normally buy it because it's kind of expensive.
It is expensive.
But it's delicious. But then I'm like, is it worth getting sick over? And I'm like, I'm debating. I'm like, this is so good. Like, it could be worth it.
You're so healthy now that listeria wouldn't even, you might not even notice that you have it. One of the dry cured, semi-dried sausage courses I went to, the professor was trying to impart in us the difference between listeria and E. coli. And he was like, you could get a couple thousand cells of listeria in you. And if you're a reasonably healthy person, you probably won't even know you have it. He's like, if you get 10 cells of E. coli in your stomach, you're in trouble.
Yeah, going to the hospital.
Yeah. So most people would be fine, but it is now expanded. There are 57 cases reported, and they assume that is an extremely low number. Like there's way more reports out there. Just most people don't have to go to the hospital for it, and that's the only way it can be reported across 8 states. So yeah, and literally dozens of products. So
did they say in there? Is it coming from pre-sliced product?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Because
it's a slicer. It got on a slicer,
well,
and it wasn't properly cleaned.
A slicer from boar's head,
Yeah.
or a slicer? Because if it's more sporadic and erratic on where it is, it could be slicers in a meat market in the grocery store. But if it's pre-sliced, it's coming from boar's head. Because normally my concern is the stuff that gets sliced at the grocery store. But it sounds like this is more like a widespread thing, which is not just like a few stores. It's like coming from boar's head.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, like, yeah, I don't buy boar's head.
Yeah, I believe it's all
it
it goes to the deli pre-sliced.
Okay.
Like it's not you get a big hunk of boar's head ham and they slice it there. I think it's the other stuff.
Makes sense then.
All right, so increased sausage demand could be a worrying signal for the economy. This is from CNBC. The sub-headline to that, but good for Waltons. So from the article, it says, this category tends to grow when the economy weakens, according to edited comments included in the Dallas Fed's report. That is because sausage is a good protein substitute for higher priced products and can stretch consumers' food budget. This anecdote, pointed out by eagle-eyed Bespoke Investment Group on social media site X, comes as grocery prices remain top of mind for consumers. Once again, I'm never going to let this go. Top of mind was not a term. People would say top of the mind, but top of mind was not a term until Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House spokesperson. Is that a spokesperson? Correspondent? No. Media spokesperson. Whatever. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Until she said it one time about Biden. So
About saying top of mind instead of top of the mind?
yes, it used to be it was on the top of my mind. Now she just said top of mind once, and I read it everywhere now, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's
tip
not.
of the tongue. What do you mean top?
It's not.
Tip of the tongue would have been fine, but yeah, not just top of mind.
I
Anyway,
say it's not grammatically correct.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
While the rate of annualized inflation has fallen closer to levels deemed healthy by economic policymakers, the collective increase in prices compared to just a few years ago has left everyday Americans feeling sour about the state of the national economy. I mean, we've talked about that ad nauseum, right? We did found my old Walmart. It was Walmart, right? Yep, Walmart grocery bill from like 2 years ago, and it was, I don't remember, it was 50% or something more than it was previously. So, yeah, I get really sick when they say, no, inflation's not as bad as it was. I'm like, no, it's actually worse. You're just looking at it year over year instead of how you should be looking at it.
Yeah. Or what I was telling you this morning about my tax bill, how things are. It's not just the prices you pay at the grocery store. Over the past year, I got a tax bill. It's like, oh, we're going to raise your home value like 30-some%. And then they were like, oh, we're going to raise your taxes like 25%. And then just came out with a new letter that's like, oh, because of the whatever revenue, and we're going to do this with the mill levy, and it's going to go up another 15. So what do you call it when you do compound those interest rates together? Like my home tax rate is skyrocketing this year. It's going over 50% higher than it was the year before, which is absolutely nuts.
And they're going to be so shocked when we overthrow them. They're like, what are you talking about? We thought you loved us. Like, you're taking all our money. Like there's recently been this big talk about unrealized gains taxes. That's what property tax is.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that's a use tax. Like, I get it. It's different. But that's what that is. Like, you're taxing me on something that I own, and I have no value in it, like no real value in it until I sell it.
Yeah, I hate property tax. It's an absolute scam. It's double taxation at its finest, and shouldn't be a thing. Find other ways to tax us, but yeah.
Or don't.
What are we gonna do about it?
Or don't tax me anymore. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Back to the meat.
Wolf pack that attacked Colorado livestock to be relocated as reintroduction program stumbles. That didn't last long.
We could relocate him 6 feet underground.
They don't say where they're going to relocate them. So there's no indication whether they're going to put them somewhere else or whether they're going to relocate them to like a wolf preserve, which is what I bet they're going to do, because this failed epically.
If there was a Boston Tea Party, but with meat, what meat would it be?
Okay, so that's a
hot dogs.
That's a big. I was actually going to say breakfast sausage, right? The reason I'm saying that is because tea was such a common thing there, and the most common meat eaten in America, by at least if you look at what we sell, is breakfast sausage. So if they started adding like a specific tax to breakfast sausage, I bet you it would be that, or bacon. One of those two.
Oh, bacon's
one of those.
That's
two.
the common. I think that's the best of both worlds. More American, but more, like I said, along the lines of what you're saying. Breakfast sausage is. So.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Please continue.
That was a good question.
Yeah. No, of course.
But no, it was the beginning of this summer where we were talking about them releasing these wolves into livestock. Since then, they have slaughtered all sorts of livestock, and they can't get them to stop. So the ranchers finally kind of. I mean. There's a decent amount of money in ranching, especially when you add in like land value of all of what they actually own. And they finally got together and were like, nah, I think we're going to put our foot down on this.
This sounds like a B storyline in Meatballs too. You know, it's already crazy because there's an alien.
But they in a raincoat, it made no sense.
And then now you got a reason for these people to go, okay, what's going on
What are we doing here?
Yeah, perfect.
No.
I could see it.
Meatballs 1, great movie.
Yeah, Meatballs 2.
Terrible.
It's like it was what was that offshoot of E.T.? It was almost like it was a sequel to that thing. It was like the kid in the wheelchair, he fell down the cliff. Anyways.
I'm unfamiliar with anything you just said there.
Back to you.
We'll talk offline.
You're not, because you're not a child of the 80s like you should have been. You're a poor excuse for.
Do you remember the Ewok special made for TV movie?
Of course I do. I was there. I helped write it.
I was going to say, shut up then.
So, found some stats.
Okay.
Don't know how accurate this is. It's from premiofoods.com, and it's stats from 2016.
Okay.
So it's old-ish. I mean, it's not old.
But
a few
it's-
years old.
I mean, it's
but it's
old.
not current.
Right.
Not old, just not current.
Right.
It's like John.
Oh, that was great.
Dude, he's doing a full 180. Oh, he might have really choked.
That's the second week in a row I've had to turn around or fall out of my chair
First time
because
like,
of
live on there. I was gonna make a joke like, man, you look like I could find you on the back of a milk carton, and then that one's right there in front of me. So
I think we sell so much breakfast sausage seasoning because of the market we are in and the small processor market, deer hunting, wild game stuff. So many people turn wild game into breakfast sausage because it's simple, easy, cheap. You go look, according to these stats, breakfast sausage brought in $581 million in 2016.
Okay.
Scroll down to hot dogs, and you start talking hot dogs. Not a lot of small processors make that many hot dogs.
Nope.
You start getting to big processors, and that is major product lines for them. So sales equate to at least $2.4 billion. So
Okay, so hot dogs is a better one. What, is bacon on there? Show me bacon. Show me bacon.
Bacon's not on here.
Darn. Nice. Good one. Okay, so we'll change that answer, Patrick. We're gonna go with either hot dogs or bacon.
good answer. Good answer. We could do a family feud style.
Excuse me. Allie's actually doing a Family Feud thing for our next party on the patio.
Oh, awesome.
It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, that's actually mine.
She took it from
She's
you?
just stepping in for me, so it's
Oh, nice.
if it's a good time, it's actually mine.
No, it's
Like,
not. It's hers. It's hers.
Can't be
She gets it.
casino night. That was awesome.
I had fun.
That was the best.
Yeah. We did a casino thing for our last party on the patio, which is where we shut down one Friday every month. We shut down early and we just all get together for an hour and eat some stuff and do some other things. We had blackjack, craps, and roulette. And we had gift cards to the
Food
market in the back. And I told people, that was Stephanie's idea, was the gift cards to that. And I told people, I'm overselling this, but it's the best prize like possible. Like you would rather have this than cash.
Were they so mad that they go, no, that's not?
I think they were just more like, man, you're stupid.
No, because it was me going, oh yeah, dude, that's the coolest thing.
But it's
ever."
awesome.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you could go get food for free.
When you get cash, I feel like compelled to like use it for something that's reasonable. But you get a gift card for something like that, it's like, oh yeah, this is free money.
Wait, you get cash and you feel compelled to use it for something reasonable?
No, he's like, I get what you're saying. You're just like, well, now I'm on the hook for a purchase I didn't even know I was going to make this week, and now I have to figure out what that is, and I almost have to get a good deal on it.
We can all agree that you never put cash back in the bank anymore, right?
Oh,
I haven't done that since I was like 22.
No.
The ATMs take money now, so you can put it in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you guys are so removed from having to do this. Yeah, I used to have to. We'll take coins to the coin store, but no, now you can actually legit just put in your money and it counts your bills for you, and it'll be like, "Is this amount correct?" And you go, "Yes."
I mean, it's too late. You already have it. What are you going to do?
You can just say no, and it'll spit it back out. But yeah, you just stack it, all of them facing the same way.
I don't like that idea.
So like the last
It's been around for years.
the last holiday I got like money as a gift from somebody. And to be honest, I have no idea what I spent it on because it got put into my normal stuff, and I think I just spent it with
you just
my
used
normal
it
things.
for a
And
while.
but if it had been like a gift card to the market, I'd have went on a shopping spree, getting a lot of Diet Mountain Dews, and
Then you know what it is.
Stock
so
up,
the
baby,
gift
yeah.
cards like that always better than cash.
Maybe that should play a role in our next Kansas State Notre Dame bet. Some sort of gift card to the.
We could just scrap the whole thing
you're
about like
dressing up as a
penalties,
leprechaun.
and we could do it as fun benefits.
Nah, that doesn't sound as much fun.
Maybe we need to do both then. Give us
Okay.
something to look forward
We can
to
do both,
instead
yep.
of just
and
dreading.
Yep, we could do both. All right. Nambia will kill elephants, zebras, hippos, and give the meat to people affected by drought. This is from CNN. So I'm sure with a different audience, this would be controversial. I'm sure it's not with the Meatgistics guys. Particularly with elephants, people apparently get very odd about eating an elephant. But the animals set to be culled are 83 elephants, 30 hippos, 60 buffalo, 50 impala, 100 blue wildebeest, and 300 zebras.
Wow, it's a lot of meat.
If I told you got to eat one of those animals, which one would it be?
Probably a hippo because it's the most dangerous.
So you want to eat it because, like, haha, I ate you?
Yeah.
That's not a bad answer. That's actually a pretty good answer. I would choose either the impala or the blue wildebeest because Nick Hoffman said that blue wildebeest is one of his favorite wild games, and I've always wanted to eat an impala. I don't know why, but I look at that animal, I'm like, you're tasty. I bet you taste good. I don't know why, but yeah. Just interesting. Here, we would handle food insecurity for a certain population much differently than let's just go kill some animals and give them the meat, right? We'd be like, oh, here's more SNAP benefits or something. They're like, no, we have this resource. We're just going to give them the meat. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Cool way to do it.
But I want to cover this real quick. It's the biggest recalls in Tyson food history. Number one is 11,829,000 pounds of frozen chicken strips in 2019. Number two is 9 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken in 2021. Number three is 2.4 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken breast again. Then we've got 2.3 million pounds approximate of cooked chicken. And then finally, we get to our first non-chicken one, and it's deli meat. And it's only 380,000 pounds.
Only.
So what are they doing with chicken so much that they just constantly have to recall it and in ridiculous amounts? And this is just Tyson. I mean, I say just Tyson. Tyson's obviously a ridiculously enormous processor.
Are they just doing larger batch and lot sizes, and so they can't narrow it down, so they got to recall
Just take it
the
all.
whole thing from here to here?
Yeah, that's a good answer. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because I don't know. I would, I would assume if you're doing like in the picture, like the just ready to eat chicken strips in that green Tyson bag, like they're probably going through a line that's just conveyored through, and it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. There is no like stopping
Break.
But at least when you're making, I mean, deli meats, it's going to be like it depends on what kind of deli meat. It's going to probably be restructured in some sense,
Right.
And so you're going to have batches. You're only going to fit so much in a mixer at a time.
Yep.
You're only going to fit so much in a smokehouse at a time.
Yeah, on a truck.
Yeah.
Only so much of it will go on that. So, but I don't mean I mean a food truck like into the smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or you could it could be still a continuous, but still like it's still going to be different. It's not. I don't know.
Could you do a continuous with just like a smoked ham?
Probably. Like,
It'd be really slow. I mean, it's got to cook for a decent amount of time.
I've seen kielbasa done on a continuous line.
Yeah, but kielbasa is this.
still only
Ham
so
is
big.
this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We should find. We could probably talk. Maybe we couldn't. I don't know. Talk to a few big plants like that and be like, hey, we're part of Meatgistics. We do this. Would you let us come in? Tour your place?
Surely not.
I feel like we would be able to do that, but then on the other hand, some people would just be like, dude, we're not opening up anything to anybody. But I don't know.
I mean, I took a tour of the Hormel bacon plant here because a friend of mine runs it. I had to sign an NDA clause. Like I was just going as me. I was not going as a Walton's employee or anything. I had to sign an NDA. They're not going to let us walk through there. They're super shady, or not shady. They're super secretive about that. All right. Doctor shares horrifying scan of patient's legs filled with parasites after they ate undercooked pork. I immediately thought this would be trichinosis. It is not trichinosis. They call it one of the craziest CT scans they've ever seen. And there are many dozens of parasites just in this person's legs. So as an emergency room doctor is sharing the alarming scans of a patient who is hospitalized after eating undercooked pork. Is an emergency room physician from Jacksonville, posted the image on X, and he uses X to teach his followers about medical emergencies, asking them to guess the diagnosis. He later revealed that the patient was diagnosed with the parasite infection called cysticercosis, whatever, however you say that. So now we have a new thing to be afraid about with undercooked pork. So that's awesome. And this is a tapeworm that affects the brain, muscle, and other tissues. It's caused by ingesting larval cysts of the pork tapeworm Taeni solium. Humans become infected with T. solium by ingesting cysts that can be found in undercooked pork. The larvae penetrate the intestinal wall and invade into the bloodstream, and from there can spread to literally anywhere in the body. So I'm going back to 160-degree cooked pork for a while until my pH is so low it would have killed it. So there's no chance.
Still gonna have nightmares tonight, because of the texture. Because that's why, like, to me it's kind of creepy. Is like the texture just, it's not hard enough. It feels like you're eating raw meat on the very inside.
I mean, technically you are.
Yeah.
But you're technically eating raw meat when you eat like a properly dried sausage too.
Yeah, but the texture's different.
Right, texture's different, but it's still technically raw.
Well, yeah.
Like it's not cooked to any degree. So, all right. Wild hogs on the loose in Miramar. So that's California. Or no, that's actually South Florida, isn't it? There's a Miramar, Florida, and a Miramar, California. And I assumed this one was in
Florida. Talks about the Everglades.
Yeah. I know. So I'll take back my comment on that. My comment was, I wonder if they'll reconsider the 10-round magazine ban. Because that is one of the better responses to that, other than just home defense or because I want it and I can have it and I'm American. is what are you going to do when you have 40 wild hog on your property? You're going to go, hold on, guys. Stop. Let me just switch this back out. So, but I take that back. All right, moving on to what do we call the wild game section? I could not remember this to save my life.
Wild card?
Wild card. Thank you. 16-year-old boy found decapitated after a shark attack in Jamaica. So this guy was out spearfishing by himself. They lost him. Like nobody could find him yesterday, and he washed up on shore today without a head. Patrick said the shark was just like, I'm just angry at you. I'm not hungry. I just don't want you in my area.
Sorry, my bad.
Or what is Jamaica kind of famous for? Like crime-wise. Machetes? No? It's not a well-known
Machete
thing?
Phil.
I don't know.
Yeah, or someone hacked his head off and threw his body in the ocean.
Oh, that boy was me.
Right?
John, please don't laugh.
Machete Phil?
Phil. Yeah, machete.
Okay. But I mean, it is a sad thing. But they think it was a tiger shark, and it just came through and just lopped his head clean off.
That's crazy.
Another good reason to not ever go in the ocean
Hold
if you
on.
don't absolutely have to.
Could have been COVID.
It could have been COVID.
We don't know.
That's possible too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
we used to.
I know of numerous people
in a
whose head
post
just popped off randomly. from
9/11 world. This could be COVID.
Like,
so.
absolutely could be. All right. Watch this video of this idiot going up to a Bengal tiger in a zoo. Now, she's been arrested.
Is there a glass case there?
No,
or-
there's a fence there, but she's reaching through trying to pet it, and at first it's rubbing up against it because it usually gets fed when people come up to it. And then she doesn't have food for it, and it tries to claw at her a few times. Bengal tiger is a small tiger, like Siberian. Have you ever seen the video? It's at a tiger preserve, and they have a bunch of like Bengal tigers at a gate, and all of a sudden just this thing that looks like a different animal comes walking in. It's a Siberian tiger, and all the other tigers like back up, and as it walks by another one, it lays on its back as it walks by as like a sign of submission, because it's literally like 3 times the size
Yeah.
of the Bengal tigers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
I love Bengal tigers. And then this guy broke the world record for a tiger muskie. And
No, it's just a picture of you.
I'm just saying, my fish was significantly bigger than that. I mean, significantly bigger than that.
Listen.
That was 45 inches. Mine was 48 inches.
Well, what did you catch then?
Muskie.
Just not a tiger muskie.
Yeah, tiger muskie is a mix of a muskie and pike, northern pike.
Oh, they can
Yep.
crossbreed.
And they
Oh,
actually, tiger
that's
muskies get
scary.
pretty aggressive.
I was
Like,
gonna say that's because from my experience, like pike were like they were more aggressive. They're feisty.
Yep.
And the muskies they're big, but they're strong.
they're cautious.
But yeah, but you put the 2 of those together,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Yeah, they're scary things. Now this says 45 inches, so that's almost 4 feet. When I was a kid fishing down at Lock 7 on the Mohawk River, we had this guy, we called him the bait man, because he would bring like it looked like an ice cream truck, but he'd just sell like fishing bait out of the back of it. And if you caught a huge fish, you go over, he'd take a Polaroid of it and post it on his thing for the whole season. He had somebody with a tiger muskie. The guy must have been tiny, because if I remember correctly, and I can see it clearly in my mind, he had it up by the gills, and it was like right up by his face, and his tail, the tail was like curved on the ground. So either they should have taken the measurements there for that one, or I was young and just don't remember it correctly. The second one's probably more likely.
probably both. Like so many things. Like you remember something from a kid and you think, oh, it was huge. It wasn't that big,
Right.
But there's probably I bet there's a lot of like world records out there that it's only a world record because someone stopped, took the time to document things. But how many people catch something and just freak out and go, "This is huge," and never actually do the right thing, go to the local authorities to get it on record?
Well, this guy, oddly enough, he posted something on Facebook that morning that says, "I'm not going after fish today. I'm going after the fish." And then he took a picture of the lure he was using and his official not world record weighing, but like measuring booklet and device. So he was going after a world record today, and he got it.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like That's Babe Ruth calling a shot.
So, can anybody work the system here? I think it was on podcast a few weeks ago, talking about a story about somebody like diving down to retrieve fish that they had like saved.
Oh, yeah.
Down on the
Yeah,
bottom,
that's
brought it
the-
up to win a tournament type thing. But could people breed fish in like captivity in their own deal, get the biggest ones they can, and then go place it out in a lake or something somewhere, catch it, quote unquote, turn this world record, or I don't know, game the system.
So something like that kind of happened in Japan, somewhat like it, not exactly. But I was talking to Patrick about this a while ago. Bass were released into ponds in Japan, and obviously they're invasive. So the government didn't like it, so they went through and killed as many of the bass as possible, right? World record bass is 23 something. Sorry. From California. And people have never come even close to it. I think like the second biggest bass is like 20 point something, right? So it's kind of seen as one of this, like it's never going to be broken. Well, they started getting close in Japan because after they killed all those bass, it gave way less number of bass access to all the food, and they just started eating like crazy. So Japanese people started going nuts for bass fishing. Like we have a lot of the lures we use today in bass fishing because of the explosion of popularity in Japan of bass fishing.
Interesting.
So unintended consequences type of thing, but also a little bit of what you're talking about, like intentionally creating or doing something to create like larger and larger fish. But now the bass fishing has taken off in Japan. They don't try and kill them anymore. So they haven't come close to a world record in like over 10 years. Anyways, I know too much about bass fishing and stuff like that in general. If I could only transfer that knowledge to like useful stuff, if I could get rid of all song lyrics, all movie quotes, and like useless fishing knowledge, I feel like I would have enough room in my brain for a lot.
You just need to figure out how to take all that and put it into TikTok videos that make people laugh, and you would be a mega influencer.
Yeah, but who wants to be famous for TikTok? That sounds
I don't.
not cool.
I don't like. How about Instagram? I'm fine with.
Okay, do it on
We'll just do
Instagram.
that. We'll just do that. That's
Pick your
better.
poison. That's all it is now.
All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nothing else.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Wait. When are we doing the live stream?
Oh, we started to talk about that earlier, and then we never.
Yeah, we just moved
decided.
on. So the first is on a Sunday. We're not going to do that. The second is Labor Day, so nobody wants to do that. And the reason we're not doing the first opening day of dove season, we made that mistake once. We'll never make it again. So the third I propose, but I think Allie said you might not be here.
Oh,
Gonna miss his own proposal.
why would I not be here?
I don't know.
I mean, technically, I have a doctor's appointment at 4:00 that day, but I could
No, don't move that.
move it.
Are you guys trying to get assassinated? Like,
Like letting people know where
Yeah.
we're going.
I'll just be here on this day. See you there.
I don't know.
Top of the World Trade
If we're
Center.
your targets, you have a pretty sad life.
Yeah.
Like there's better people to go after.
We normally do podcast on Wednesday. We could do it Wednesday and move podcast, or we could just leave podcast and just say whatever. Let's just move live stream back and do it on Friday. Just end the week.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do it on Friday.
Okay.
All right. So podcast or live stream will be on the 6th of September. Cool,
Okay.
cool. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics Podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.